Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of DDA Daily. I'm so excited that you're here and this is finally happening. It's been an idea I've had in my head for about 3 years now, so sometimes it's finally just time to execute. So here we are, we're doing it with one of my very good friends and hair and makeup artist, the queen, Miss Allison Pynn.
Hi. Hi.
And we are here with our favorite press coffee.
Yep.
I'm obsessed. They're the best in Arizona by far.
That's actually true.
It is true.
True. Everyone would agree.
I think so. They voted best
Not
on
kidding.
everything,
Yeah.
I think, so
Yeah, it's
wouldn't make
smooth,
sense.
it's lovely. Anyway, this is not an ad. It's pretty great.
But just know we love you. Anyway, but it's a big important part of me and my life. You guys always see on my stories, I'm always getting coffee. It's just a big part of my life. I need that caffeine to keep me driven, and it just makes me really happy. So today I'm drinking my favorite iced vanilla dirty chai latte. It's the
Forget
best.
about those dirty
It's
chais. I
the
love those.
Best.
Yeah. I always think about it around Christmas, but this is just like a latte with almond milk. Hot.
Delicious.
Extra hot.
That basic thing.
Like you, girl.
Yeah.
Hot.
Aw. Now I'm blushing.
That's because the blush I banged all over you.
Ah,
That's
isn't she fabulous,
I'm
you guys? That's why.
It's just my favorite blush, so I think everything's due to blush.
You just like to bang.
I just like to bang, is that what you said?
That's what I wanted to say, but we
Blush.
went.
Husband? I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so today we wanted to talk to you about some topics that are relevant to the industry, relevant to you, things that happen behind the scenes and that no one really ever talks about. So we wanted to kind of bring you into the discussion with some coffee talk today with Allison Pynn. So something that I've recently heard, and if you guys don't know me, I'm obsessed with e-news, I'm obsessed with e-daily pop, watch it every morning religiously with my coffee. So that's kind of where a lot of the inspiration came from, and I really just wanted to break down a lot of different details for you. With that being said, we like to start with a different topic that's relevant to kind of today and social and things like that. And so recently I heard about Tiffany Haddish leaving her purse behind in interviews because she wanted to hear what they had to say about her when she left.
See, that's brave.
I
That
think it's
is
very brave.
really brave.
Very brave.
Because what if you don't like what they say?
Exactly. So, with that being said, what happens if you don't like what they say? And I thought it was a really interesting topic of conversation today because Miss Allison here is kind of known as the queen of the industry in Arizona, but she didn't know that.
No.
Which I think is crazy because literally everyone says it. But again, if they're not saying it to you, how would you know that?
Yeah. I wouldn't. I didn't. I don't.
Yep.
I don't.
And this is the exact same expression she had the first time I said it. So,
I think it's bizarre.
genuine. Bizarre. So does the queen. She thinks it's bizarre. So, I thought that was very fascinating. And so what we wanted to dive in today was, with you being the queen and hearing these things in relation to Tiffany Haddish, do you like knowing that? Do you think it's a good thing to know what people are saying about you and why?
I want to know if anyone is saying anything, I want it to be positive. So I'm just glad it's positive. I hope it is. I try to just be myself and make an impact at a shoot, you know what I mean, in a lighthearted kind of way, and just be consistently nice to everyone from the PA to the director and everyone in between. And you know, we're all equal. We're all here just trying to figure all this crap out. No one knows what we're doing here on Earth. I'm even speaking more than just in this industry. I mean, we kind of know what we're doing in the industry. We're figuring it out, like some of you guys. But
Like today, this is the first time, and we're just figuring it out. So
yeah, so I think it's just as long as it's nice to hear it's confirmed that it's positive what people are saying. So that's lovely. Gives me the warm and fuzzies. But yeah.
Totally. I've never heard a bad word said about you, and I don't know why there would be anyway. And I don't know why anyone would need to say anything bad about people. So I think it's way better to learn and try to understand them and maybe why they're in the positions that they are and what got them there. So I think with Allison, at least every time we've worked together, every time I've seen you, you're just so real, you're so down to earth, you're so kind.
It's important.
And you genuinely care about having a conversation with the people that you work with.
Yeah.
Getting to know them. There's never an ego. You're never like talking about, oh, this one time I did this big job, and then it's nothing, ever.
Can't stand that. God, I've been on so many shoots, and I don't know why. I hear other makeup people or some models, but I think it's relative if you're directly asked, like, oh, what did you do last week, and you happen to do something badass. You're like, oh yeah, you're excited about it. But
and you should be able to talk about those things and not feel like egocentric. Yes, and you should be excited.
This is why we're doing this. We're working hard so that we can grab the jobs that are dream jobs. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. But I've just been on so many shoots or, you know, worked with events with other people, and they're just like name dropping the whole time. Oh my God. Like, I don't care. Who are you? What did you do yesterday? What was your childhood? What's your dad like? What's real? Do you have kids? Like, I want to know about you. It doesn't matter what we actually do on the surface, as long as we love what we're doing. But I just think it's important to be yourself and spray some freaking light all over this earth when you get the opportunity.
Everywhere.
You know? So, I don't know.
Well, it is. It's so true, and that is what matters. It's what makes you you. It's not about the work that you do necessarily. That makes you a part of it.
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
Yeah, and we love being able to come and rock this stuff. But that's why we do it, is because it's so fun and we love it, and we love the people that we get to work with, and to be able to express the creativity in different ways. So I think it's so cool, and like I have to seek out certain like details of like, hey, how would you do something like? Because you're not doing anything but what's in front of your face and what's relevant to you there and what matters to you in those moments.
Right.
And that's what's important. So it should be.
Yeah.
So I admire that. Just so you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so my wonderful assistant intern, Natasha, went ahead and put together some questions for you as well. I think it's very important because a lot of people don't have any idea what happens in the industry because no one's really putting information out there.
Yeah.
And so as somebody who's really interested herself in kind of going through this process and things, we thought it'd be great to have that perspective for you guys, for Allison. So one of the questions was, how does it feel to be recognized as the queen of the makeup artist in Phoenix? Tell us how that actually makes you feel.
I mean, it's validating. It's nice to hear that because I had no idea how to start in this industry at all. I didn't really know any makeup artists. I thought if you're a makeup artist, you like work at a department store or you live in LA and you do films, and neither one of those interested me. So when I decided I was gonna go for it, I just went literally balls out, went on my own, just started building a kit and contacting production companies and photographers and like Googling like crazy and just throwing myself out there. Just started taking the steps. So, I mean, that's how I started. And I didn't really, I never assisted. I never like took a class or studied under anyone. So I never really knew if I was doing it the right way. I just did it the way I felt was natural and just kept the drive going because I've always had the thought that this is the only thing that I'm going to do. This is plan A, and plan B is to make plan A work.
I love it.
So I just went balls out. And so I guess fast forward, I guess it's kind of nice to hear that I don't know, that people even know that I'm around. You know what I mean?
They know.
I don't know that I even exist in this world because I had no idea how to exist in this world till I just started taking the steps. So that's cool, but
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you kind of had almost like, people right now are having to put social media away so they don't see some of that stuff. I feel like you kind of had that luxury already, not having it in your face and like looking into that stuff.
No social media. Yeah. There was none. Didn't exist. So I just, I had to physically, like I remember going around in my car, physically picking up local magazines around town and flipping through like, okay, what is an art director? Who might hire the makeup artist on here? And then like call it.
Who can I contact? Where's some sort of information?
Will you give me a chance? And then now all you have to do is have the right hashtag under a picture and then somebody could find you. I'm like, oh my God. It was so hard for me. That was probably one of the hardest things, was just getting my name out there. So the fact that my name is like out there now, I still am kind of in disbelief. I think it's weird.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
I'm grateful for it though.
Well, and Allison too, she works with, reality TV, everything from like the model and talent shoots here, big, small. She's kind of done everything in between. So to still hear about it on that everything's balanced, everything's the same. Like work is work is work, and you're going to do it the same, and you're going to enjoy it the same. Doesn't matter who's there.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, like whether you're working on Britney Spears or you're working on like me, that's nobody's or something like that. Like it's the same.
Everybody's the same. And that is what I have realized is like literally having celebrities in my chair, people that would drool if they had in their chair. But what I realized is like, my God, these people, it doesn't matter if these people are exactly the same as you.
They're people.
They're exactly the same as me. I mean, I have like physically had to, in a very nice professional way, get a booger out of a celebrity's nose, and then would do that again and I've had everyone from governors, celebrities to literally homeless people in my chair. And the consistent thing is we all have a story, and none of us know what the hell we're doing. We're just trying to do it the best way and figure it out as we go, and we're all the same. We're all the same. So that's why it doesn't matter who's in my chair. It just matters how we connect. That's what's important.
So important. I think that's so amazing. And it's just, yeah, you have to get down to basics and you have to stick with that. And I think that's so incredible. And just from what I've heard, the experiences I've had, it's not usually like that. It's usually, hey, why does so-and-so get these jobs? Hey, why is it? And they're too focused on why they're not getting something versus why they could be getting, or how they could be getting something. So don't focus on someone else's style or what they're doing. What can you do and what can you do really well? And what can you keep doing really well? And just keep showing up. Show us what you do and keep doing it. That's it. So you definitely have a style, I would say. Do you think you have a style?
I mean, yeah, kind of, I guess. I guess.
That bombshell.
I just like to do glam. Yeah, I guess that would be my style, but I just love to do it. Yeah, I just love glam.
Me too.
Just making, hot girls look hotter is so fun.
Right? Well, you do such a fine balance too, where you're not like contouring and changing the shape of anyone's face. You're accentuating and bringing out their natural features, which I already love. And she did my hair and makeup today as well. So just multi-talented over here. And just, I think that's so incredible to be able to do that. So
Thanks, girl.
Okay, so our next question from Natasha is, what are your top 3 tips or techniques to achieve a professional and flawless look? And how do you do that between all the different types and skins and colors and shades and tones?
Top 3 tips or techniques to achieve, okay. I'd say the top 3 things you could do to help your look more professional or just like have that polished edge is to make sure your foundation matches your body. Because that's such a thing. If you have this like super tan body, your face is white, and so you're color matching your face, but then you look like a white head floating on a brown body.
It's me a lot of times.
And then it doesn't look polished, you know what I mean? That's the first thing that jumps out to people. So I'd say having the right color matched foundation and then making sure that's really blended. And then using a product, in my opinion, that looks like skin, not like makeup face. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that probably goes back to sometimes when you don't feel like yourself, because maybe it's just more makeup face than your face.
Yes. And then I hate this word cakey, but that's a word that a lot of people use all the time. Yeah, and so I think if you just have products that work well for your skin, that's also going to help tremendously.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think too, using products that blend in with your skin as opposed to, and what I mean by that is I'm such a huge fan of using creams. So
versus like a matte powder or something.
So if you think about it texture-wise, you want to use textures that play together and marry nicely. So if you've got a liquid foundation on your skin, you don't want to just throw on like a streaky powder right on top of that, because it's going to create like a skid mark effect. So if you're using like a cream bronzer on top of your creamy foundation, those two marry nicely and they play together. So then you're just going to have a well-blended, kind of pushed-in look, if that makes sense. Same with I love cream eyeshadows. I just like to work with creams because they blend into the skin so much more seamlessly and pretty, in my opinion. And they usually have a glow to them, which is obviously still so in now. So just having great foundation that matches your skin, it works well for your skin, and then using cream so everything looks really blended. And then last, a polished look. I mean, that's hard to bring it back to one, because I'd say you need to have groomed eyebrows. Yeah, okay, I'll call it that, groomed eyebrows.
There you go.
That's what we'll do. Groomed eyebrows. Get to somebody to groom your brows.
And if you need some thickness, like she added so much to mine today, because I like to over tweeze, and this guy's a little smaller, so Allison rebalanced him for me.
She does enjoy the tweezer.
I like it.
So nice groomed brows will be the last.
Perfect. Well, I have a question on your foundation discussion, actually. What is your thought as far as primers and like the setting powder and that effect on top? So that obviously changes it to a matte, which is how I normally get my skin to look like that. Because of my liquid foundations, I was told to use a setting powder. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm not a big powder lover. I'm just not. I mean, I think that if you start with skin that is really well moisturized, then you usually don't need a primer, because what's happening is your skin, if you don't use a primer and your skin is dry, it's not well moisturized. So this is your skin, and then you've got foundation right on top of that. What's happening is your skin is now absorbing that foundation, and that's why your foundation disappears. So you enter in a primer to help create a barrier, skin, primer, then foundation. That helps.
Love it.
But if you really just, and I'm not like a skincare expert, but I kind
You're
of
a
am.
beauty makeup
I'm like,
expert.
I
Yeah.
I've kind of become, I just know what I know, whatever the hell that is, right?
Hey,
but
I screenshotted a lot of your stories because you know a lot of things. So.
But if your skin is really well moisturized, then it's not going to absorb the products as fast. So exfoliate, moisturize. And then if you really need to throw down a primer because you're super oily, and makeup just tends to fall off your face or it eats makeup a lot,
Where it
then you
groups
could
together in those little weird chunks.
Right. Well, that exfoliating helps tremendously with that, so that your skin, the texture is even all the way around. So
Basically skincare, guys.
it
Skincare.
is so much of it.
And drinking water.
So much of it. Yes.
So you can moisturize all you want, but if you're hydrating from the inside,
helps.
that's the best thing you can ultimately do. So one thing I randomly learned, this is not really necessarily with makeup and hair, but all relevant,
Yeah.
is that 80% of all people that end up in the hospital, 80%, would have not ended up there had they drank more water.
Where did you hear that? I totally believe it. Where did
From
you
my
hear
old
this?
art director at Tiger Beat magazine. Her husband was in the hospital, and that's what their doctors had said.
Wow.
All preventable.
I just read a book called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty.
Yes. Yep. 100%. I'm like, yes, you guys. Oh my
And
gosh, this has been the
doctor,
key.
Yes. Healed so many of his patients' ailments,
Yep.
including like arthritis and things like that, just by properly hydrating them. So I guess if we're super hydrated, then we'll like be prettier.
And just glowy and feel good, all good things.
But actually,
This is
yes.
good, yes. Drink water. That's your
Yeah.
tip for the day.
Where are we going right after that though? It was like water. What was the?
Moisturizing, hydrating,
Oh yeah, that.
said brows.
Yeah, I felt like I was going somewhere else with that. Oh, you had a question about foundation.
The powder.
Oh, right.
Setting
So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of powder. I just like skin to look like skin. I think if you're super, super oily, it's nice to have, I haven't even blotted since I got here. I've been here for like hours, but my forehead gets shiny. But I like to, your T-zone to be a little matte, but I like everything else to look like skin. So if anything, I'll just do a little light powder right here, and maybe right here on people. And I leave it at that. I do like setting sprays. I think those are lovely, but I just don't think you need to set your face with powder for your makeup to last. It's more about prep than piling on a big powder puff at the end. I think that's when you just start to look like makeup face. So
Right. It does. Yeah, and I have tried a few different ones, and I don't know if they're doing anything.
Yeah,
But I know the primer makes a
yeah.
difference.
Primer, yeah, I think primers are better than setting powders.
Save money. Don't do all the layers, you guys.
Yeah, you don't need all the layers. Oh my God.
I remember the days of just Studio Fix. Gone. That and a little mascara, a little blush. That was my
Yeah,
old
and then
routine.
like 100 zits the next day.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I
And then
don't
more
use it
makeup to
anymore.
cover it up.
Absolutely. But man, was it easy. It didn't take an hour.
The steps. It's the steps.
It's the steps, yeah.
Right?
But really taking care of your skin is so much more important anyway. That
Yeah, then you won't need
should.
all that foundation. You won't need all that full coverage foundation to cover up the flaws, whatever.
Yeah, and that was in
you
like
just-
middle school, so it's not like I needed it
Yeah.
then anyway.
Right? Just need to do some good skincare prep.
Exactly. Cool. All right, let's see if we like any of these. How can someone level up their glam and makeup for the month of July? Are there any new products or technique? How can someone level up their glam and makeup for the month of July? Are there any new products or techniques that you would recommend for the summer months? That's a really good question. Thanks, Natasha. Maybe
I
a
think-
4th of July look? Or
I
do you
don't.
believe
Yeah, I
in
don't. I
doing
don't
blues
think
and
there's
reds?
like a 4th of July look other than if you want to
Glitter.
like pop on a red lip. I mean,
Glitter, you can do stars, you can
yeah, if we want to like get into face painting and stuff like that. But I think like the more applicable thing for people to do for July and just all summer, maybe in July pop on that red lip. But I just love to make skin look like glowy, dewy, like hot, sultry skin.
Oh, I've been sweating all day,
Like,
but I'm like beautiful.
And I've got great product recommendations for that. But
Perfect.
layer on the
No,
sunscreen.
this is not what we sit and do every day, trust me.
What do you mean? Is
Things
what?
go bask in the glory of our beauty.
I
in the
do.
sun. All right, I need to level
You
up.
know,
I need to level up.
I don't. I hate the sun. Like I don't even watch TV without sunscreen on. So, yeah. But I love using sunscreen as some of the prep for your skin for that glow. Like some. Oh, and I heard that I think it was J-Lo's makeup artist like finishes with sunscreen, like a sunscreen spray. Is that the right celebrity? I forget.
good.
Somebody really well known does that. So I mean, just, it really does provide a gorgeous glow.
That's
So either before or after, but really just glowy, sultry summer skin, I think is the hottest thing you could do.
Cool. Love it. All right. So what is the most difficult thing that you've experienced in the industry, and how did you handle it to make a good learning experience that you could grow from? Any egotistical nonsense that you've had to deal with, or something on set that didn't go right that you had to make up?
Okay, yeah. I've had to deal with some pretty significant egos, for sure, from people in various positions, you know, in the industry. And I think that all things here for us are for our learning and our betterment. So if you really can, even if that's bullshit and it's not true, I look at things that way because I've found a consistency in life that if you look at like the domino effect of your life, how things have gone and how what you got out of it was such that was the blessing in the thing that happened. So if that is true for one thing, it has to be true for all things, right? So every moment we have an opportunity to learn in Earth. Always. I always say on Earth, like I used to be on Mars or something.
She's from Mars, you guys, actually. That's what you don't know here.
So I just think that, yeah, so when I've dealt with some egos, you know, people like telling me to do my job, like how to do my job.
Are they makeup artists?
It's not even, yeah, no, it's not, no.
Usually not.
No, and I don't mind being given direction at all, especially, I'm there for the job, I'm not there for me, so I want direction if people have it. But it's more like when people are definitely coming from an ego-based place and they're really obviously insecure, or they've just found they found it comfortable to be rude.
Makes them feel better for some
yeah,
reason.
you know, yeah, but my opportunity that is I get to learn how I deal with that. I know that probably sounds ridiculous, but yeah, like no matter how somebody treats you, how you react is up to you and how you feel from it. And realizing that it probably has nothing to do with you. It has everything, why they talk to you a certain way, or has everything to do with them. Maybe they had a total shit morning. I don't know. Maybe they're getting a divorce. Maybe you have like no idea why somebody does something, but you have control over how you deal with it and how you walk away. And so it's good practice. Realizing that it's usually not about me, unless I have actually done something. Then you can't walk around thinking that you've done nothing. So like do the checklist.
Take responsibility for yourself.
Yeah, take responsibility. Do the checklist. Like, did I bring everything I had to bring? You know, your A game, all the things. Did I say something weird in the wrong time? Things like that. But really, as long as you're being genuinely who you are, I think that just keeping in mind that it's usually how somebody treats you is about them, not you. So I've had a lot of good practice in realizing that. And then become friends with those people later. And I didn't change a thing. It was more just...
Okay, yep, sure, you got it.
Yeah,
get the job done. Don't make a problem.
It's not personal.
Nope.
Press on.
It's never you. That's also what I've learned. It's never you. It's something within themselves to make them feel better in that moment if they are usually putting you down. So we don't know what those things are.
Right.
And the biggest thing that I've learned is respond, don't react. And a reaction is usually an emotional response, and it's unwarranted a lot of the time. If you can kind of take a step back, breathe, smile and nod. What do I actually need to do here to get this job done? Do it. Don't cause a problem, you know?
Yeah, don't make the matters worse.
Yeah, because it's, again, their problem, not yours. Do your job and do it well and be, you know, as humble as you can be, I think.
Right.
Work hard.
And then have a lot of wine.
So much wine. Coffee to start, wine to end.
And water.
And lots of water.
God, all we're going to do is drinking all day long.
We're just going to be going to the bathroom all night long. No. All right. So, oh my gosh, that's another good question. So when did you realize that you actually wanted to do hair and makeup for a full-time living, and how did you kind of come to that?
I had a traumatic experience, and about 2 days after this traumatic experience, I had one of those like literal come to Jesus prayers. Like, not to be all dramatic, but I just happened to already be on my knees because I was picking up my son's toys, so I was on my knees. But I like literally had this come to Jesus prayer, like, what am I doing for a living? Because the traumatic experience happened where I was working at the time, And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not even supposed to be doing this stupid job. I'm an artist. I need to be honoring that. But I don't know what to do. I was painting, I painted murals. My background's in fine art. I decided I didn't want to be an animator anymore because I started to go for that route. And so I just felt bottomed out, and with every cell in my body, meant this prayer. I'm like, whatever you want me to do, I will do it. If you want me to be a janitor, I will do it. Just make me passionate about it,
right.
and I'll be the best damn janitor, But I meant that. I meant that with all my heart. And within a couple of days of that prayer, I had an acquaintance who was a makeup artist moving into town, and she's like, hey, our mutual friend said that you're great with makeup and hair. And just because I've been doing makeup and hair my whole life, since I was 4 years old, obsessed with it.
Aww.
Obsessed.
So literally self-taught.
Very self-taught. But she's like, hey, I want to start up an agency. Do you want to do it with me? And I'm like, and so I just kind of like assumed that was the answer to my prayer, because it had never dawned on me to do hair and makeup as a living. I was just doing it because I loved it. I would do it I did. That's all I did was do it for free, I just was really passionate about it. So it was like, this was it. Okay.
Right in front of your face the whole time.
Yes. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Yep. So, and we didn't work together very long. We primarily just did some weddings together and stuff, but it gave me the idea. And so I broke out, and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, and I think it's coming straight from above, then I'm going balls out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want the big networks. I want the magazine covers. I want celebrities. I'm going to go all the way, because I know that I can.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why I thought that, but I mean, I thought that because I thought it came from God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had all the confidence in it.
And you had a feeling in your gut. You just knew you had to do something.
I knew I could do it. And I thought that, okay, if God wants me to do this, then I know that I will. I know that I can. And so, again, maybe that was all one big fat coincidence, but 15 years later, the coincidence turned into a career. So, at that point, we did some weddings with her, but then I just started networking. So I joined local networking groups here in Arizona. Online, I joined networking groups. I showed up to everything that I could. I became a yes man. You know the movie Yes Man?
Oh,
With
yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Done that.
That was my mantra, is say yes, 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 yes. As long as it doesn't compromise your soul and who you are,
Yes.
You say yes to everything that comes, and you do that, and things keep coming. And work ethic, and making sure your reputation is impeccable. Show up on time. Be lovely. You know what I mean? Have all the crap you need to have. Mm-hmm. So it's working hard, and every day I worked at this, because nobody knew who the hell I was. Why would they? And so every day that I wasn't on a job, which was most days in the beginning, so I would bartend at night, take makeup jobs during the day, or try to, and but every day that I wasn't doing a makeup job, I would be online Googling, okay, who doesn't know about me, who haven't I reached out to yet, and throwing my name out there. So I worked every single day.
I didn't just sit around waiting for something to come.
I never waited for anything. Yeah. Like I said, I would drive around and pick up local magazines. I mean, every single day. No matter what you want to do, you have to work at it.
And you still work with a lot of those local magazines.
Yeah, I still, and just still a lot of the same photographers 15 years later, and production companies. Like, we've maintained the relationship, so it's awesome.
So cool.
I'm just so grateful, and you guys know who you are that did that. I'm so grateful that you guys gave me the chance. So.
It's so cool. Well, it all starts with somebody, somewhere, and the network is very small.
Yep.
Like, everybody knows everybody here, and so it's really remembering that in every aspect of what you do and kind of transferring that through. So you want to always be known as this great, humble, nice person, right? But you also want to be very you as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't just all of a sudden be this perfect,
Oh my God, yeah, and I had no idea.
angel.
I don't.
Happen, but
I never felt like I fit in with other makeup artists. I don't even like wearing black. I feel like every makeup artist is black. I hate black. I like wearing white and cut up jeans and boots. Like, I don't even look like a makeup artist.
and her cool ball caps. And
I'm like, I just want to be me.
Well, you show up to work how you feel good and feel comfortable. It's not to please anybody. It's not for anybody else.
Don't turn yourself into a character. Just be you, whoever the hell that is.
Exactly.
Right?
Only save the characters for when you're doing your photo shoots.
Right. We're turning people into characters.
When we're actually turning you into characters.
Yeah.
So great. All right, I think that's most of the questions here. So, is there anything else you feel it's very important to tell people who are maybe new to the industry, who have no idea, kind of how to go about their dreams? How do they start? What's What's your
Yeah.
number one thing? If someone who has never had a job before in their life, but they love makeup,
Or makeup or anything
hair,
that they're
anything,
doing
really,
is,
yeah.
oh, I had it and then it went away again. Hold on. Yeah, thank God for the editing.
Right?
I'd say, can you word the question exactly? Oh, what's the number one thing that,
Piece of advice for people wanting to kind of get started in the industry,
Yeah.
kind of break out. Is it reaching out to all these, is it an agency? Is it connecting with a friend to go take some photos? Is it?
it's all of it. It's no matter what you want to do, it's work every single day at it, every day.
With
And-
whatever you can do.
Yeah, and you have to have a bit of dumb tunnel vision if you mean it. You can't be, well, I'm gonna do my side hustle. The more time you spend at your side hustle instead of having that tunnel vision of what you actually want, the more time you spend over there, your whole world's gonna start spinning over there. Whatever you put your attention on the most is what you attract more of. So if you want to do makeup, if you want to do photography, if you want to be the best damn janitor in the world, whatever the hell you want to be, that's where you have to focus all of your attention. Like I said, my thing was plan B is to make plan A work. You have to have that, or your side hustle will turn into 20 years later your forever hustle. You know what I mean? So
And then you're unhappy in what you're doing currently because you
Yeah.
wish you were over there more and doing all the side hustle. But
and I have no excuses. That's another thing. As long as you have excuses, as long as you have those fallbacks, that's what's the story that you're going to tell yourself as to why you can't do what you were meant to come do. You've got to keep your focus and be zeroed in on that.
I agree with that 1,000%, especially because this month our theme is to level up and to be stronger than your strongest excuse. And that was what our friend and photographer from today, Miss Lauren Schumacher, has for her yearly theme and her yearly intention. And so I think that's also really, really great to have kind of in the back of your mind to keep up with. Be stronger than your strongest excuse. And what I like to say is don't give an excuse to not do something, give a reason to do it. What does that look like instead? And how cool is that? Like, how exciting is that? What is the reason for this? And then you already have your purpose going into things too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so much more impactful and so much more meaningful. So, yes.
Amen, sister.
Woo. Well, hopefully that's what we're doing for you guys here today, is making this whole industry more meaningful, more impactful, giving you advice that you can actually use and actually do something
Apply.
with. Yeah, go out today, start building a book, build a portfolio with whatever that is.
Today.
Today,
Now,
it doesn't
right.
matter. That's what we're doing. So
Yeah.
we're starting your challenge. Start now, today.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.